Good morning. Here is the news at 10. First, the highlights. Lagos State government set to commence 2024 screening tests for model colleges, upgraded junior secondary schools. AFCC hands over $22,000 recovered from convicted fraudster to Federal Bureau of Investigations. On the foreign scene, Taiwan ramps up security for new president's inauguration amid China threat. And in sport, British boxer Tyson Fury suffers defeat as Alexander Usyk becomes boxing's first four-belt undisputed heavyweight champion. Now the details. I am Dele Agadumo. The 2024 screening test for the 16 model colleges and upgraded junior secondary schools will commence on Tuesday, May 28 and end on Friday, May 31 at 5 CBT designated centers across the 6 education districts in the state. Director, Lagos State Examinations Board, Adebayo Orunsolu, urged applicants to bring printed copies of their examination slips to the examination venue, noting that electronic gadgets such as phones, iPads, watches, and others will not be allowed in the examination hall. Orunsolu enjoined all duly registered applicants to revisit the exams board's portal using their username and password to print out a clear copy of their sitting arrangement for the examination. He called for the cooperation of parents and guardians and all other stakeholders to successfully conduct the examination. Senior Special Assistant on Basic and Secondary Education to the Lagos State Governor, Eniola Opeyemi, has proposed a fare slash for students and teachers who frequently use the ferry transport services to commute to and from school. Opeyemi made the suggestion when he paid a courtesy call on the Managing Director of Lagos State Ferry Services, Lag Ferry, Ladi Balogun. He explained that the slash in price will not only help reduce the financial burden on these individuals, but will also encourage more students and teachers to take advantage of the transport services provided in discharging their duties. Responding, the Lag Ferry boss, Ladi Balogun, considered the proposal as salient to the drive of the Themes Plus agenda, which he said shall be given due consideration. The federal government has been urged to fast-track the release of the white paper enabling colleges of education, COEs, to carry out the dual mandate of producing NCE graduates and degree graduates, NCE and BEd, in line with the Act establishing COEs. The Colleges of Education Academy Staff Union, COE ASU, made the call, saying it is on track in the implementation of the bill signed into law on June 12, 2023 by the government. National President of the Union, Smart Olugbeko, explained that the COEs are awaiting the white paper for implementation following the conclusion and submission of a report since July 2023 by a committee set up by the Federal Ministry of Education to draw up modalities for smooth implementation. He spoke during the 2024 National Conference centered around digital pedagogy and the implications for Nigeria in Abuja. The Northeast Development Commission, NEDC, has initiated a program to reduce the number of post-primary dropouts due to the decline in secondary school enrollment in the sub-region, which stands at 15%, one of the lowest in the country. Managing Director, Chief Executive Officer of NEDC, Mohammed Alkali, stated this at the launch of the Accelerated Senior Secondary Education Program, ASEP, in Bauchi State. Alkali attributed this to the challenges in the post-primary education segment, citing JAMB UTME applications and admissions into tertiary institutions in 2019, where Northeast students' performance was one of the poorest in the country. He noted that nationally, the Northeast sub-region has the lowest number of teachers and the highest percentage are without literacy skills. The managing director also noted that ASEP key delivery pillar is to raise awareness about after-school possibilities and the potential for diligent students to become successful and prominent contributors to the Northeast region and Nigeria. Now to the rest of the stories. The Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC, says it has handed over $22,000 recovered from a convicted internet fraudster, Hakeem Olanrewaju, to the Federal Bureau of Investigations, FBI. In a statement, the EFCC spokesperson, Dele Agadumo, said the money was handed over to the FBI on Friday in Lagos State. At the event, FBI's legal attaché, Charles Smith, commended the AFCC for recovery of the funds, especially from business email compromise. According to him, this type of crime cripples businesses in the U.S., noting that the recovery within 1 to 2 years gives hope to the affected companies and brings some level of justice, even if all subjects have been identified. Police in Ogun State says it has arrested no fewer than 4 suspects in a raid of some dark spots in the Abeokuta North local government area of the state on Friday. The State Police Public Relations Officer, Omolola Odutola, said the midnight raid was part of the command's effort to rid the state of criminal elements. Odutola said the raid followed credible intelligence that some criminal suspects were using the places as hideouts and meeting points to perpetuate criminal activities. She noted that following a directive from the State Commissioner of Police, Abiodun Alamutu, the divisional police officer in Lafenwa led some of his men to the hideouts, leading to the arrest of our suspects. Now to foreign news. Taiwan has ramped up security patrols over the weekend for the new president's inauguration amid the increased presence of Chinese vessels. Taipei's Coast Guard administration says it has sent out personnel to patrol all hours of the day and night around Taiwan's 3 major outlying islands, Kinmen, Matsu, and Penghu. Taipei's Ministry of National Defense earlier reported that it had detected 7 Chinese aircraft and 7 naval vessels around Taiwan in the 24-hour period leading up to 6 a.m. on Sunday. Only 12 countries now maintain formal diplomatic relations with Taiwan, mostly poorer developing nations. Before his inauguration, supporters of the opposition Taiwan People's Party, TPP, are set to march in Taipei to protest against the new president Lai Ching-te's governing Democratic Progressive Party, DPP, and demand that he carry out parliamentary, judiciary, and constitutional reforms. The United Nations has denounced the recent arrest of lawyers and journalists in Tunisia, saying they undermine the rule of law. It said reported raids on the country's bar association violate the independence of lawyers and constitute forms of intimidation and harassment. The Tunisian president, Kais Saied, has been accused of mounting a power grab since seizing sweeping powers in 2021. Under a law he ratified 2 years ago, more than 60 lawyers, journalists, and opposition figures are reported to have been arrested for spreading what is described as false news. Critics say the law is being used to stifle dissent. In our sport, British professional boxer Tyson Fury has suffered a split decision point defeat on a dramatic night in Saudi Arabia as Ukrainian boxer Alexander Usyk became boxing's first 4-belt undisputed heavyweight champion. On a grand stage and on a legacy-defining night, Brighton Fury began well but was given a standing 10 count and saved by the bell after a Usyk onslaught in the 9th round. In a tense wait for the scorecards to be read out, Fury appeared convinced of victory before a stony-faced Usyk broke down in tears when he was confirmed as the winner. The scorecards read 151-112. The scorecards read 115 to 112. Also 114 to 113 for the Ukrainian, with a third judge scoring it 114 to 113 to Fury. Fury lost for the first time in a 16-year professional career. That ends our news at 10. Just before we go, before embarking on a journey, always examining your vehicle's condition. You can follow us and like all our various social media platforms: X Traffic Radio 961, Instagram Lagos Traffic Radio 961. Subscribe and watch our news and programs live on YouTube at Traffic Radio 961. You can also visit our website at trafficradio961.ng. Did you know that the Sanwo-Olu administration engaged independent managers for the management of the Lagos theatres? You can get more details on the Lagos State Government website. To end the news are the highlights of the major stories. The 2024 screening test for the 16 model colleges and upgraded junior secondary schools will commence on Tuesday, May 28 and end on Friday, May 31 at 5 CBT designated centers across the 6 education districts in Lagos State. The Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC, said it has handed over $22,000 recovered from a convicted internet fraudster, Hakeem Olariwaju, to the Federal Bureau of Investigations, FBI. We also told you that Taiwan has ramped up security patrols over the weekend for the new president's inauguration amid the increased presence of Chinese vessels. And in sports, British professional boxer Tyson Fury has suffered a split decision points defeat on a dramatic night in Saudi Arabia as Ukrainian boxer Alexander Usyk became boxing's first 4-belt undisputed heavyweight champion. For contact with the newsroom, send a message to info@trafficradio961.ng. That ends the news broadcast compiled by Aderayo Idowolaya. I'm Dele Agadumo. Good morning. Thank you for listening.